So the thing I wanted to talk about first is letting go. I'm a really, really sentimental person, very emotional, very sensitive in a lot of different ways. And letting go is something that's really hard for me, whether it be I just had to leave my parents' house in Florida that I've had for 8 years. They've had for 8 years. I've been there quite a bit, and I love it, and it's beautiful, and I feel great there. And I had to leave, and they're selling it, and it's going to be gone. And I tried hard this time, instead of getting sad and wanting to cry and walking around trying to take these mental snapshots of everything, and just kind of prolonging the process of pain, because while I thought it was something I needed to do, it's not something I need to do. And it kind of brought me to the opinion of letting go. A lot of people carry a lot of baggage, especially myself. I hold on to a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions and a lot of experiences that I have, and it clouds you up more than you realize. And if you don't properly release these emotions and release these experiences, and negative or positive, if you don't release these things in appropriate times, then you don't realize how much more clouded your memory is and how much that actually affects you in your day-to-day. And so something I'm focusing on right now is looking at what things I can let go, being positive or not, or negative things that I can let go. Because you need to let go to clear out space in your brain to take in new information and to not be so emotional. Because if you hold on to all this stuff, the more likely you are to bubble up and just burst into tears at random points in the time. And that's something that happens to me a lot. I'll be watching TV or watching something as simple as Shark Tank, and something really emotional will come on about, like, some guy will be talking about his father who's passed in family and things like that, and I just burst into tears. And I'm like, what's the problem? Like, I feel pretty good about my family, and I feel pretty, happy in those aspects. And then I kind of realize now that it's because I haven't let go of the negative things that have happened in the past. Because my family and I have progressed a lot. I've progressed a lot personally, and I've as I get older, I share more with them, and I become more open and willing to be more honest with them, which is amazing. But I still hold on to these negative experiences from my past where I felt like I wasn't able to, and that affects me a lot in a lot of ways. And so I'm really working on letting that go, and letting past experiences go, and realizing, hey, yeah, that hurt you a lot and that sucked, but the longer you think about that and you keep that in your mental inventory, the more that it's going to come up later on in your life and affect other relationships you have and other experiences and things that you have in bad ways. So I'm learning to let go of those negative experiences that I've had from my childhood and from the past, and not just related to my family, but things with old friendships, and not feeling like I was enough, because everybody is enough. The only way that you're not enough is if you're not actually trying to get better. Trying is the root of all positivity. If you try, whether you fail or things blow up on you or you get upset, as long as you've tried, that's more than half the battle, is continuing to try and trying harder. And I feel like this sort of, I feel like I'm kind of jumping into different tangents and floating around as I do in my life. So there's another pattern and another thing I need to kind of look into is my floating positive, or is my floating hurting me in the end? Or is my floating what gets me into different realms and get me understanding different things? I think the latter. I think floating is positive. I think floating, but not floating too much. Floating too much can be a problem. I'm not making as much sense as I want to. It's also harder to do this on the road when I'm trying to lane change around these fucking massive transport trucks who just seem like they own the road. Which, I mean, at the same time, if I was driving a transport truck, I'd probably be like, fuck you all, this is my job, I do this all the time, get away from me. But when I'm here and I'm like, I'm just this tiny little car, like, why are you blocking me in? Like, move.